This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/psychetruth.
Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a pec and arm massage for the lovely Aaliyah. Let's go ahead and get started. If you don't have time to watch this video right now, go ahead and save to your watch later and just watch whenever you get a chance. So always with pec massage, you want to make sure that you communicate with your client that it's okay with them, because it is a more vulnerable area. For certain upper back issues, getting into that pec major can be really helpful. So the first thing I do is I like to just place hands on this area and kind of help your client settle into the experience, settle into the table. I would say pec massage for smaller framed women is like one of the hardest things when it comes to massage, because you're dealing with bony structures and, you know, more fatty tissue. So it's just difficult, but really worth it if you do good work in here. And I'm just doing some compressive holds. So this is a great warm up for the soft tissue. And it also helps me to get a better sense of Aaliyah and where the highest areas of tension are, from right to left. I'm starting close to the sternum, that attachment site, and just working my way down. And when in doubt, if you're struggling, work along that attachment site, because that alone can really help that whole muscle relax. And you don't want your client to feel like you're just poking around. So really, you know, even the simple technique, do it with intention and do it well. Because that's how you get repeat clients. That's how you make good tips. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my oil. And that probably took me 2 minutes, and you don't have to spend a long time with that kind of a warm-up for it to be effective. I do like to bring that stroke into the upper trap just because it feels so good in combination with the pectoral work. Just long, flowy effleurage strokes, keeping my hands nice and relaxed. I do like to pass over that shoulder joint and just flush out some of that synovial fluid, get it moving around a little bit better. If you are new to massage and you're not sure what you're doing, sometimes your hands can be really stiff, so just like keep your hands relaxed. And even one way to do that is just shake out your hands before you start working on somebody. It'll really help with any type of effleurage stroke that you do. I want to see a medium sheen on Aaliyah's skin. I don't want it to be super shiny because I'm just going to slide off of that muscle tissue. I'm trying to do anything deeper. I'm going to start in close to that attachment site. I'm just going to start working my way into this pec major a little bit more. I actually find that it's easier to work from the front side of the table than going in working on one side at a time, which I do. It's just a little more difficult for me. Just clearing out some of this congestion. And when I do find those trigger points, just slowing way down. I like to just give my clients a little break, pass over those shoulders, and just reinforcing that mindful connection between the pec muscles and the upper back muscles. Just running my hands along that upper trap and helping that to just respond to the work that I'm doing in the pecs. Do one more pass along these pectoral muscles. This can be a little bit hard on the finger joints the way that I'm doing this. So ideally you want your fingers to stay nice and straight. I can't really reinforce my hands with this technique. So if you feel like you're compromising your joints, the thing to do is just start going in one side at a time, and you can just reinforce your hands. You can stack your hands. Do the same thing. Just working my way down into that muscle belly. You can even alternate hands. That's good if you can bring that stroke at the end of it into the shoulder joint just lightly, just flushing out any congestion in that shoulder joint. Typically, when you are working in towards the spine, you're going to get access to deeper layers of tissue more easily, but with the pec manger, I like to kind of stick with this technique more often than not, because I like the type of flow I'm able to get into while clearing out a lot of that congestion. And I'm going to go ahead and start my arm work. So I'm just going to position this arm so that the front side of the arm is a little more exposed. Remember, especially with a smaller framed person like Aaliyah, the arm is going to move around a lot if you don't anchor it. So I'm just going to anchor Aaliyah's arm with my left hand as I bring that effleurage stroke up the arm so that her shoulder is not creeping up by her ear. And remember to use your whole body with these effleurage strokes, or your flow is going to start to feel really choppy and you're going to get really tired. If you're working from your core and using your whole body, you have way more endurance as a therapist. And just making sure that I have all the oil I need, more or less. And even here, just keeping my hands nice and relaxed. And I'm going to start working my way into the shoulder joint a little more. Using reinforced hands to make it easier on my finger joints. And as I start to get into this bicep and bicep tendon, I'm using the heel of my hand and just making sure that Aaliyah's arm is nice and anchored. And you can use reinforced hands to work your way up that bicep. You want to work in a little bit more detail. And I do like to finish that stroke around the shoulder. Just feels really good. And it's really healthy for the shoulder. So I am thinking about transitioning into the forearm, so I don't want to do it too abruptly. And it's a little bit weird to go from deep straight into the forearm, so I like to just a few easy effleurage strokes and then just transition into that forearm. And light pressure like this is actually really, really good for the nerves in the muscle. So if you can just throw in a few really light strokes for the nerves, it's really good. And I'm going to work on these extensor muscles. And I'm just going in with the whole surface area of my thumb, working somewhat broadly. And if this is a more compromised area for your client, if it's really tender, you can just shorten those muscles by lifting the hand, and makes it a little more tolerable. And just flushing out some of this congestion, getting a sense of how tight everything is. And you can eventually start to lower that hand and just allow that natural tautness to exist as you work on these muscles. And as I find these knots, these trigger points, I'm going to just work with a little more detail using less surface area of my thumb. And I'm going to start to do some holds in a way that will help free up some of this tension. I definitely budget where and how I use my thumb. I do feel like this trigger point work is worth it to put a little bit more effort into using my thumb. You can even use the heel of your hand if you're starting to feel kind of tired for this trigger point work. And just rest the arm. And for work like this, you do need to make sure that you don't have too much oil on your client, because you're going to slide right off. And just ending with a more relaxed stroke up the forearm, just making nice where I transition into the hand. And this is just what I do if I don't have a lot of time and I want to touch on the hand. I'll just walk my hands across the palm. Not trying to get too specific with anything. This is definitely really good for the forearm if you can just squeeze in between the thumb and forefinger. Help free up some of that tension in there. This is really good for headaches as well. And always good to just end with the fingers. Creating a little bit more space in those finger joints. Not pulling too hard though. And you can even pull on that hand a little bit, just stretching out the wrist a little bit. And taking my hands off, not too fast. That is all for today. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's video, you should check out our Patreon page where you'll find some really great exclusive content. I look forward to seeing you there.
Introducing Yoga Plus, offering a free series every month with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. Yoga Plus. Download now for free.